this opportunity to introduce you to Mr. David Nair. He is our mentor and our coach. He is the author of the book IXL. He's a corporate strategist. He's a keynote international speaker. He's an NLP master practitioner and a trainer. David is one of the most sought after people developers on leadership and personal mastery. As an excellent peak performance coach and mentor, David has a unique skill of quickly diagnosing development needs within a person. He has this really rare ability to electrifying an audience, yet deliver simple fundamentals for change that would step the individual up, help teams and organizations to performance raise many folds over. For 30 years, David has been involved with most of the premier companies in India, helping empower, coach, mentor their senior management, VIP, and several CEOs. David loves cooking, loves a glass of red wine, and he loves taking the mickey out of people. So be warned. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. David Nair this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Enda. Thank you so much. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, new members. Welcome, welcome. I see quite a few new faces. I am so thrilled and happy. I would encourage each of you to have a notepad and a pen. Though you've come to a master class, we will be covering certain things. Yes, we are here talking about mental resilience mastery, but more important than that, I wanted to give you some ideas of why this is such an important thing to your life. Okay? Everyone got a pen and paper? Usha, are you on two screens somewhere?
Jeez.
Yes, David, I have some network issue. That's why I'm on from my PC and from my mobile.
Okay.
Just in case I miss the connection, so I have the other ready with me. That's why.
I love you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick start. I want to ask a few questions before I deep dive into the session. And please feel free. I would like you to jot down on these some of your points. And if you can give it a scale of 1 to 10, that's even better. Okay. My question, and I'll go through 10 of this. Are you currently facing any issues in this following areas? Number one, in your career or business, are you facing insurmountable stress and being constantly overwhelmed due to time issues? If yes, put yes, and whether it's a 1, whether it's a 5, whether it's a 10. You're not going to send that to us. This is for your own self-assessment. And you will understand most of what we do in mental resilience mastery is the concept called introspection. And this is a very brief introduction to it, but we deep dive into various modalities that will actually help you come out of issues. So I'm asking you this question as a reality test of where you are. Work-life balance, ladies and gentlemen, do you struggle with maintaining a healthy work-life balance? And if it's a scale of 1, please do that. If it's 10, put a 10. You perform at your peak performance. You understand the concept of vibrations. You understand the concept of how to monitor your self vibrations, what you need to do, how you need to do. If you know that, scale of 10. If you don't know that, scale of 0. Stress and anxiety impacting your profession and your personal life. Is that hindering your ability to achieve your tasks, your goals, your aspirations? If so, put a scale of 1. If it's not, 3, 5, 10. Adaptability struggles. Struggling to adapt and stay ahead of time. Again, put a scale on that. Burnout and exhaustion. Difficult to find joy and fulfillment. As the Dalai Lama says very confidently, most people in this planet Earth is searching in quest for pursuit of happiness. I take it one step further. It's in pursuit of fulfillment. Unless you're fulfilled, nothing happens in your life. Take stock of that. Uncertain future. How does that impact you? Are you unsure? Do you navigate through that? Are you able to make the right decisions? Because, ladies and gentlemen, decisions, every moment of decision that you make, it stamps your signature for your future. Your destiny is carved in that. So if you're very poor in decision making, because you don't have clarity, you can't see through things, you're always in vague situations, you're vacillating from one end of the fence to the other end of the fence, spending a whole day trying to think, what will you do? How will you do it? Then we need to scale up your decision-making skills. Lack of support. Do you have a structured support? We call it the MRM community here. Do you have a similar structured support that helps you to bounce off ideas, both in your career, in your professional area, in your life areas? If not, put a scale of 1 or 2 on it. Self-doubt, the question of your ability to do certain things at certain times. Are you at the cutting edge? Are you working your 5 senses, physiological senses, to its peak? Or are you dragging yourself out of bed on a Monday morning, crawling? Or do you jump out of bed? People with purpose, and most of these people in this platform have got that defined. People with purpose and direction drive their own life. You are the captain of your ship. Isolation, disconnection with like-minded professionals. Do you have a network? If I asked you for your 5 of your closest friends, relatives, or colleagues that you associate with, are they 1, 2, 5, or 10 scale above you in relation to mindset, in relation to health, in relation to spirituality, in relation to income levels? Are you on that platform where you have that opportunity? If not, put a 1 on that. If you do have, give yourself a 10. As most of the people on the platform would know, those that came to the session early on Monday, I had the privilege of spending 1 whole day. And I do that every 4 months. This gentleman, a billionaire, comes over to Brisbane, Australia, and there's about 40 to 50 of us in that particular community that we spend time, I call it chew the sizzle. And we bounce off ideas on business, we strategize things. Are you able to do that monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, annually? Because that's your trigger. If I asked one of you, let me ask one of the new people here. Who is here? Who is here? Who is here? Ruth Stanley. I'm going to ask you a question. Don't be frightened. What is the one most significant, important thing that the Creator has given you?
Connecting with people.
I'm sorry? Connecting with people. Okay. Anybody else? Dale, I see a familiar face here. Dale, second week around. What is one crucial thing?
Crucial thing for me, I have a great ability to communicate, liaise, and build relationships and network with people within my same field and even outside my field.
Fabulous, fabulous. Who can I ask again here? I'm going to ask one of these people behind the screens. Nolene.
Afternoon all. I think for me, my willingness of living.
Willingness of living.
Yeah.
Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, all of that is dependent on one thing. Sit upright, please. Take a deep breath. Hold your breath. Count to 4. Let it out. Without that breath of life, you can't do any of the things you say. Yes or no?
Yeah,
that's the basic fundamental. That's how we come down to fundas of life. Now, let me ask you this other question. He has given you the most precious gift, he or she, God, the Creator. and you can do an average job, and you can put it on a tray and offer it up to that creator, what is he going to say? Is he going to reject it, or is he going to accept it? He will never reject it. He will accept it, even if it's not 100% effort. He will accept it. But he has given you the most significant, precious gift of life. And what are you doing with it? Giving him a half-hearted? Are you living your moment to the fullest? Ask yourself, write that question down. Am I living my moment to the fullest? What is the fullest to me mean? And these are some of the questions you need to look at. Why is there mediocrity? Why is there complacency? If you're doing that, what about your children? So take stock. This is not to point my finger at each of you. This is to say, take stock. We got to start looking at these things, guys. Who is this guy, David Nye? Some of you are wondering, and I'm just pounced straight into the topic of MRM. David Nye is very simple. As Anda had pointed out, I have had the privilege, thank God, of being affiliated with quite a lot of people on different platforms. And one in particular are my coaches. 14 of them. See, I was that daft to have 14 coaches to get me to where I am today. Each one of them paved my way financially, mentally, spiritually, education-wise. I was extremely comfortable. I still am extremely comfortable living in a place called Brisbane, Australia. But all of a sudden in the late 80s, I should say, early 90s, I went up to my father and I said, listen, I want to do something different. This is a prodigal son always talking to his dad, okay? And I went up to him and said, I'm going to go to India. And he looked at me and he said, are you serious? Dad's in Malaysia, by the way. He said, are you serious? And I said, yeah. He said, you got a good family there. Did you have a fight with Laurie? I said, no. You got a good property there, multiple ones. You got 2 good children. What's wrong with you? And I said, Dad, I'm happy, but not fulfilled. Contentment is not there. I want to do something that you guys have done. Both of them were in the medical profession. So I said, I want to do something that you guys have done. I want to go back and do something. And he said, just give them some charity. And I said, it's good. I can give some money, but tomorrow they'll still be hungry. But if I went there and taught them how to fish, tomorrow, the next generation can benefit from it. So my expedition started in 98 in a little township called Chandigarh. But I went to the topmost part of India and worked my way through for the last 30 years, back and forth multiple times every year, commuting from Australia to India. And in the course of doing that, had the privilege, honest to God, had the privilege of working, impacting across the board, close to 300,000 participants, ranging from employees, senior VPs, CEOs. I had the privilege of working with 50 of the top foreign MNCs in India, all verticals, banking, pharma. In fact, today I was talking to a pharma company that is asking if I can fly in to do a 3-day session for their senior execs in Singapore. Now, why do I say that? It is not to gloat. I hope you understand that. It is to say, I am not here standing, and I beg your forgiveness for using this term, bullshitting my way through what I talk. I have done the walk. I've been in the trenches. I've scaled up companies from 40 crores to 4,000 crores. And I think out of all of that, travel, work, trench digging, I have some sense to put together a package. And this mastermind is not just a mastermind that just started. It started in 2004 with a company called Ramco Systems in Chennai, India. And it grew from there. So currently I work in a number of countries. So ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman that you're looking at and talking to, I think has got some credentials to share with you. And if you're interested in listening, and if you're interested in working with us, please lock up with the person that brought you here and find out a little bit more about us. So you get a feel for what we do. Things you also need to understand when you do collaboration, and this mastermind I'm talking about, you're coming through to collaborate with us, you're coming through to get some information from us, you're coming through to learn from us, and we're wanting to partner with you. So two of our members, senior members, will be going through with the new members to have a chat with them coming week to see how the partnership can come through. Because we just don't bring anybody into a safe net like us. And for you to just get a feel for some of the partnerships that we are working with across the platforms in the world, here is an example. Can you see that screen? That's a slice of some of the companies that we are affiliated with. And this has been in place since the last 15, 18 years. So we are not a new organization, and we are not a fly-by-night mastermind that sprouts out and goes back. I sincerely would like you to take note of this. Who you hang out with. Most of my coaches have mentioned this to me. Who you hang out with, the sum total of 5 of them, you can tell me, and I can give you an indication of where your bank account is. I hope that makes sense. So ladies and gentlemen, my sincere suggestion to you is play the game right. Play the game right for your life, because you have one life here. Now, this is probably 1/4 of what we work with. And so it gives you an indication of who we partner with. And we'd like to partner with the same sort of people when it comes to masterminding and collaborating. You will see why we are so entrenched in what we do, Dale, and the rest of the new members, primarily because we feel life is of significance, and unless you leave behind a legacy for the next generation, life is not worthwhile living. Bottom line. That's the bottom line. So moving on from there, let me ask you I'll give you some enlightenment of what Mastermind is, what this Mastermind is all about. It's a community of professionals. You look in here, there are people who are doctors, lawyers, housewives, accountants, wide area of people. And what do we do? This diverse background actually creates a sanctuary. We work in such a way that identified elements of strengths are drawn from people to help the others. Therefore, we will be partnering with those that come in with us with your skill sets to share it. Information here is freely, liberally released. We don't charge you for that. In fact, for all the new members, I'm going to be very frank with you, there is a fee downstream, but not now. For the first 4 weeks, which is the whole month, you're going to get the access to Mastermind for free, to taste what we are like, to see what we do, to appreciate some of the knowledge that we're going to share with you. And these are going to be of value. If you ask and talk to some of the members, which I will get you to do shortly, you will now see how between 60 to 80 modalities of shifts for change are there. I went through 10 questions with you at the start. Those 10 questions are the positions where you are. Now, for you to shift from that position to the next state, you need to have a model. And I'm going to open up my first lesson of that for you. Take stock. There are 4 steps to change from where you are. And here I'm just giving you less than 1 minute of it. But we will actually be role-playing this, practicing this through until it becomes a mastery for most people. The first step to change is understanding your current position, which is what I did just now with you. Where are you? Be fluid, be transparent to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. So if you're transparent to yourself, put pen to paper, you know your current position. Are you happy with it? In most cases, no. If you want to move up, you have to shift. What do you need to do? The second step. You need to step up. Step 2 is to step up. Now, you can't step up with baggages. They can come from before your birth in some cases. We will not go into the depths of it now. But a lot of the baggages, you need to unload it. Therefore, they could range from limiting beliefs, confidence, you name it, the whole list of them. We will show you processes of how to unload that baggage. Now, sitting up on that step 2, you need to move forward. Once you unload, what's the next thing you have to do? Refill it with what you need to move forward with. And the last step, obviously, is go and do the action that's required to get you to where you want to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we put models like this for each person to create the shifts, to create the change that they want, to get to the state that they want. So it's not just a Mickey Mouse little organization that we come and have some fun. That's why I'm intolerant of people who do not come on screen. You've come here to learn. You've come here to enjoy. You've come here to interact. So be that person. Do not come and hide behind a screen. That's the mastermind, very bluntly put. What are our purposes? My main purpose is very simple: to create a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people. I failed it miserably, but I've not given up, because I always follow a saying: if you fall 6 times, you get up 7. If you fall 7 times, you get up 8. And the key element that you need to look at is, do you have your purpose? Later on, I'm going to extend an invitation to the newcomers to stay on for the second hour if you want to, because Nawaz will be sharing one of the key elements of how we're going to get to New York Times bestseller. This particular community is writing a book, The Purpose Matrix. And that Purpose Matrix will be their chapter inserted in there with a statement of purpose, and we have a structured manner in which that's going to go through, which will be launched. Nawaz will talk about the details at the next hour. So we have objectives that we get the people to get involved in. So what you now got to understand is, if you are in a supportive community like that, do you think you're going to scale up? Yes or no?
If I'm in a supportive
That's the
community,
point,
then
guys.
yes.
I'm sorry, Dale.
No, I said if I'm in a supportive, community, or if a group of people that are really good, then yes, of course, I'll be able to step up, especially believing in myself. So.
Say no more. Salavi. And as part of that, we also want to make sure you're not just staying stagnant. So there are two ladies who have got their rattans, their canes, waking you up at 5:15 in the morning. Dr. Alka from from India. I got Chennai in my head for some reason. And Anda from Cape Town, who would be doing the Fire to Wire sessions for you guys at 5:15 a.m. in the morning. And there's a reason for that. We won't go into the details of it. Not for everybody, for those that are prepared to become the gold medalist, so to speak. So it's a global community. We have people from probably 4 continents, actually, building a holistic, mental, resilient base. Our codes are very simply put the following. I'd love you to see this, because this has been mammoth work done by our people. The pillars in which MRM works on are faith, commitment, and discipline. That fires you. And one of the key elements that we work on is not just that it is a pillar, it is part of our life. How we do this, why we do this, when we do this, what we do. And so when you understand that, you now understand why life is taking you to where it is. And we as a team actually have fun when we go. I won't disclose some of the parties that these guys have had in Goa, but this is one that was in a conservative organization called Infosys in Hyderabad. We had the privilege of talking to the Infosys cadre there, and this is the Hyderabad team, which enlightens you what our core values are: empowerment, collaboration, resilience, continuous learning. The details of all of this are on the website. You can deep dive into those core principles: inclusivity, commitment to growth, confidentiality, accountability, evergreen commitment. Now, why am I wanting for you to understand this? Unless you have these core values and core beliefs, you will not have a purpose. So this is a stepping stone. When you join us, we're going to put you through a 4-week induction program to help you find your purpose. To help you find your purpose. And that's why these core values are spoken of. Not because we are any organization that just puts it on the wall and hangs it up there with good luck. No. So our reach is India currently, South Africa, Australia, and the Middle East. We expect to go further, and I'm hopeful that you have your pen and paper. I'm going to ask you the first question. Why are you here? Could you write down 3 reasons why you come here? Not just to MRM, Planet Earth, inclusive of MRM, Mental Resilience Mastery. Why are you here? Park that, reflect on it, add that to your first 10 questions that we spoke of. And my sincere suggestion to each of you members, when you start coming in and joining us, ensure you invest in 4 notebooks. It's called note to book, like this, as basic as that. 30, 40 rupees, I think it's called. Very simply put, you need it. First notebook will become your journal, and Anda will be the person who will guide you through that. She, in fact, did an exercise on Monday. The second notebook is to take notes. The third notebook, there's a lady here called Dr. Mariam. She's going to drive you on on a book titled Master Key to Riches, which is one of my favorite books, and it will showcase to you what life is all about. For that, you need a notebook. And your fourth notebook is your wish list and dreams. I call it a dream book. So please invest in 4 notebooks. You've come to school. Out of that life, your life, my life, everyone's life, I can sum them up into 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants made up of the following. Number 1, your career, your business as the first quadrant. Number 2, your family. Number 3, your social recreation. Number 4, your spirituality. These vary in priority as you journey through life. Understand that. They vary in priority as you journey through life. But you need to have a holistic balance in all of them. And we will guide you, help you to formulate your vision, mission, core values. From that, help you, guide you, formulate what you need to do, when you need to do, and how you need to do it by. I'm going to throw another question at you. What do you value yourself as? If I asked you, how much are you worth? Don't answer. Think about it. What is your value? If you look at a reel I put out yesterday, I think it was a reel that I did in Goa for a collective group of teachers. I think there were 28 of them in that room. And the state in which they were in, I felt so sorry for the kids that are coming to them to study. And these are for postgraduate college students. The value of that individual was at such a low level, and I'm talking about the principal. that we had a chat after it for about 45 minutes, just giving us some guidance on some of the things that she has to look at outside of just content. All they were focusing on is content delivery. And that's why, just not India, worldwide, the education process is not there. Therefore, because of the weak education process across the globe, many do not understand how to value themselves. As I mentioned to you, we fall. All of us are there. Life is made up of a sine curve, up and down, up and down. Provided you have a support structure, key element, provided you have a realistic, good support structure that will call a spade and not sugarcoat it, you then understand if you fall 6 times, they will hold the hand up to make sure you come up 7 times. That's the power of what we have within mental resilience. And it's not just David and I doing, every one of the members in here. It is so well delegated in relation to what they do. You're welcome to ask some of them and see what some of them are going to talk to you about shortly. Let me ask you a question. Holistic development, this is what I touched on the subject of teachers. Primarily, most of us think our mainstream education is what's going to take us in life. No, I'm sorry to say, no. It is not. What's going to take you in life is a combination of all these 5 components. Yes, mainstream education is one part of it. It's 1/20th of it. IQ. Without EQ, you're non-existent today. Without FQ, you'll be on the streets, financial quotient. Without a social quotient, you'll be a void person. Without spiritual quotient, you'll be a hollow person. So unless you have the strategy put together to have this balance, many don't understand this. We template this and drive it through the 4 quadrants to get individuals to look at how they can showcase and what they need to get out of life and work at it. Step 4 of the change. And you see how these models are interacting and integrated together. Just a handful of ones that I've just covered with you. What are some of the modalities? For that, let me just introduce you to some of the people that are on the platform and let them share their perspective of what some of those modalities are. Let me see if I got a list here somewhere. Starting off with Anda on surrender.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Anda Grobler. I'm from Cape Town, and I have been in MRM for just over a year. And in this process, my life has changed significantly. And you know why? Because when I joined MRM, I was this little eagle sitting in that nest, being looked after by my mother, making sure that I know how to hunt, that I know I am protected from exposure elements. And then one day my mother decided to push me out of this nest and I had to fly. But what happened is for that one single moment, I was dropping in the sky, trying to flap my wings to get them open so that the wind can become under my knees and just take me up in the air, which is exactly what happened in MRM. Once I got exposed to all these modalities, I learned how to surrender in faith and with trust. Everything changes. So I really want to urge you to become this eagle who can flap your wings, who can soar through the sky majestically with a fulfilled life. But that's a choice that only you can do. And when you make that choice, your life will never be the same. So please do join us in MRM. Thank you.
Here. Let me roll through the others so we can get a feel for it as I go through. Alka Oswald.
Hello, everyone. I'm from Chennai, India. And yes, before joining MRM, I was a person who always had these lines running in my thoughts, my mind, my words, everywhere around was, I don't have time, I'm very busy, I don't know how to manage everything. And after joining MRM, that was a great shift. I was introduced to a concept called hourly log. And hourly log is something that breaks up your time into 4 quadrants. So I maintained this hourly log for a week. That is from morning 5 a.m. to night 10 p.m. And to my surprise, I saw that I was spending a lot of time in family quadrant and a very lowest time in my recreation. And the worst realization was, though I was giving so much time, neither I had any respect for it, nor anyone around me had this. So hourly log has created a shift in this. Even now I give time, but now I give a very effective and productive time. And not only this, it's very beautifully, all my quadrants, I'm able to manage them. And one more thing is, my career so much of growth that I created a hub for children and teens. Thank you so much to MRM. There were many breakthroughs in the journey. But yes, this is one thing that I really want to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Who else are we? Jyoti, I see you on screen.
Hi, David. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
My name is Jyoti Gidwani from Mumbai, and I'm from batch 1. So I've been associated with MRM for quite a long time. And David keeps throwing challenges at us. And one of the challenges that were thrown to us was NENN, 90 days challenge. So NENN means no excuses, no negativity. So it's like an affirmation for me, and I've worked on it. It's like an affirmation, only pauses and positivity. Power lies in power lies in pauses and positivity. We have the power to choose whether we want to react or respond. When we respond, we break the cycle of cause and effect. So when we become a witness, we avoid energy leaks which are caused by energy thieves, so that we can use our own energy for our own purpose. So whenever I feel a trigger or I face any trigger, I think of a Russian doll which has a tiny doll inside it. So just like that Russian doll, we have our soul inside us, which is always observing. So let us tame the horses of our mind and harness their energy to drive our purpose. So let's quieten the mind and let the soul drive us towards our purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti. Dr. Alka.
Everyone, I have a sore throat, so I'm supposed to talk less. And the reason is that if you talk less when you have a sore throat, it becomes all right. Now, what happens in MRM is our mastermind is a place where we share our ideas. And as we are sharing, David will tell us, okay, this is a great idea. So what are you going to do about it? And then he'll make us say, when are you going to do about it? And after the meeting, he'll send me a message. Can we do it on this date? And he will drive us crazy. What I'm trying to say is it's about taking action. It's not about just talking and talking and talking. What I learned over here is that I'm in a better state of mind. I'm happier. I'm less negative. I'm optimistic. And I want to do something. I really want to do something. And Mastermind is all about having like a family. So we meet in the morning, but one thing only I want to say, that he makes us walk the talk. There is no talking here. You got to do it. You got to practice it. And you got to show what you're talking. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Alka. Cardinal rule, less is more. Less is more. Less is more. By the way, Dr. Alka had just finished a summit last week at Delhi, her first international speaking engagement. She did fantastic. Thank you. Great job. Who else have we got? Navas, yeah.
Thank you, David, for this opportunity. Hi, everyone. I'm Navaz Marker from Melbourne, Australia. I'm also from the inception of MRM with David, and what a mentor he has been. I used to find it very difficult to get up early morning, 5 o'clock. And in school days, we did that to study for the exams. But now to do it with our lifestyle, we had to make the change. And the first thing that I learned was the winding up and the winding down routines. Winding down is the most important. It starts in the night before. And it is why it's so important is because you're actually talking to your subconscious mind. And that is so powerful. You instruct your subconscious mind and it works for you. When I get up in the morning, I used to get flashes of ideas, answers to what I was looking for, questions that I used to ask myself. And I always have this note pen and paper on the bedside. You quickly write it down, otherwise it just disappear. And that is the morning time. Next morning is the Brahma time, early morning from 3:40 to sunrise, where your mind is so fresh and powerful that when you're doing meditation, when you're doing your breathing early morning in this winding up, your mind releases those chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and these chemicals just bring up your vibrational energy. And I used to feel so energetic that throughout the day, all through the day, your energy is high and then becomes a piece of cake. You don't have to make an extra effort, what she just explained. And as Alka also said, David, make sure that we walk our talk. And these vibrations, high vibrations, keeps us focused and not diverted, not distracted from the distractions that come in our life and keep our path on our purpose. That's how I was able to formulate my purpose and walk my talk. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. New members, don't be perturbed with the terms that I use. I know there's a lot of jargon being thrown at you. We will walk you through it. Don't be frightened about that. I just wanted you to taste. I wanted you to taste what this biryani is like. Okay. So now
David's biryani is always very special.
I know. Thank you.
Sarish, I wanted to talk to you about self-talk, as that is one of the most important parts of our life and something we need to work upon, because your self-talk affects your self-perception, which in turn affects your self-confidence. And so it all starts with your self-talk. And that is where we want to focus, because MRM believes in working right from the root so that if the tree is healthy eventually. So when I came here, we started with a couple activities, one of which was mirror work. So we'd stand in front of the mirror, as Nawaz told you about the winding up and winding down. So as a part of winding up, we stand in front of the mirror and talk about our affirmations. And that in turn helps us to actualize it. So if you would want to join me in saying this, as you can see yourself on the camera, please repeat with me saying, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
And I am worthy of love.
And I am worthy of love.
All right. And that is just a small snippet of what we do as a part of mirror work. one thing that David always recommends is saying, I love you to yourself. Every time you see yourself early in the morning, the first thing that you say to yourself has to be positive words of affirmation. So definitely start with changing your self-talk. Whenever you have a negative thought in your head, the best way to remove it is not to say, don't do this, don't talk about this, don't think about this. Rather, change the words into what you must do. And that would give you an idealistic, the ideal words that you should repeat to yourself and hence manifest it for yourself as well. One more thing I want to talk to you about is being a part of the speaker drive. We do work a lot on social media where we do record ourselves on camera. Over there as well, this activity has helped a lot of people to bring out their uniqueness in front of the camera and come showcasing themselves. So definitely try to incorporate this and you will see the changes not in one area but all areas of your life. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Sirat?
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Sirat, and today I want to talk to you about visualization. And before I do that, I want you to all realize that we have a superpower brain, and the best ability that we have to do with that is our imagination. Now, if we use our imagination in a more constructive way, is the right thing to do. But we usually find people going in the wrong direction and talking about things they don't want in life. So what we do at MRM is, like Nawaz mentioned in the morning, we have the winding up and the winding down activity. So one of the elements of the winding up activity is also visualization at both the times. But I'd like to talk about visualization as a superpower, because you can bring your dream life into reality. And how you do that is simply by doing some few it's a mental training ground where what you do is, David encourages us to first write it down. You write down your dreams book, you write your goals and everything that you see yourself. What does happiness mean to you? What does fulfillment mean to you? What does contentment mean to you? You jot down all that stuff. That's your part one. When you finish writing down, this thing that comes out from that is your thinking ability gets enhanced. So now when your thinking is enhanced, you're in a mode where you are able to plan yourself an action plan. When you do that, when you have that thing templated down for yourself, the next thing which you do, which could be a hurdle, is also your self-talk, which Sarah just spoke. So we have affirmations in place for that. And after all of this is done, the very crucial thing that we come up to is visualizing yourself achieving it before it happens. Now, this is a powerful tool which even athletes use before they do it. But when you do this, please keep in mind some few important things. First of all is it needs to be simple, it needs to be brief, and it has to be repetitive. It needs to be simple, brief, and repetitive. And ideally, if it is something that you do in your actual daily life, it is easier for you to visualize. So if you do it regularly, it's going to strengthen that muscle of visualization. Second most important part is it is not a replacement for action. Please be very aware of that. That doesn't mean you sit in a place and you visualize and it's going to happen on its own. It's not going to manifest like that. You have to take the necessary actions, which has to be planned out, like we plan out, and you take the actions and then you visualize it happening in a sequential way, which means there needs to be clarity. And most importantly, it's a combination of your 5 senses get activated. You need to see it, you need to feel it, you need to smell it and sense it and live that as if it's happening in your reality. When that emotion is there, you feel everything in alignment. So you have your things written down, you have a plan set up, and now you're feeling it. So when your mind is so powerful that whatever that you believe, you can do, be, and achieve. So do that in a very organized, systematic way. So everything falls in place after that. Your visualization ability is so strong that if you visualize yourself achieving that, you will definitely reach there. So before I leave, I just wanted to say that use your imagination, visualization part to do a creative and constructive in a format, because the other way to waste your time, like David says, is a gift of life. If you use it in the wrong direction, it will cause you worry, anxiety, and depression. So when you channelize things in the right way, that's where you will find success, and not just happiness, like David said, contentment. So I believe this is our procedure that happens every morning and every night. We have 6 elements that are highlighted, prioritized, and then visualized, marinated, and then brought it into reality. So guys, you have the power to live your dream life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Mariam, can I just have you for a short minute, please? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, David. My name is Mariam Nafsan. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. Now, I don't really like slogans. They can really be at times be empty phrases, just lacking meaning, repeated thoughtlessly. And when I entered the MRM community, the first thing I heard was this faith, commitment, and discipline. And I thought to myself, hell no, not another one of those. But I then gradually began to appreciate that it's not a slogan, really. They really are principles that this community is based on. But more than that, it's backed by values and authentic action, which for me is really, really important. So the faith part is the faith in an infinite intelligence, crucial for me, for all of us, because without that, there is no life. It's faith in ourselves, faith in others, and faith in the world. Now, I love the way Napoleon Hill, now David has made reference to the book of his, Master Key to Riches. This is the other aspect of MRM. You will love the resources, make use of them. But anyway, in Master Key to Riches, Napoleon Hill makes the analogy of faith as royalty. He says royalty will not enter a room that has not been properly prepared for it. In other words, faith will not enter the mind that has been set, that has not been set in order through discipline. In other words, it won't enter a mind that holds fear, doubt, uncertainty, jealousy, anger, frustration, envy, etc. And it needs help. You will all know this. It needs a lot of self-discipline to free yourself of that. You need support. Most times we need support of that, for that. And then the third component is commitment, the cement that holds it all together, that keeps us on course when we're faced with the obstacles and the challenges. And there will be those, many of them, and you need the support to get you through that. So MRM drives continually, David, continually drives faith, commitment, and discipline in all areas of our life. But it's done in a nurturing environment of accountability and how I need to be held accountable to move on in life, and encouragement. There is no magic wand, no magic wand. The degree of benefit you derive out of this is entirely up to you. But what I will tell you is you will grow. There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Mariam. Appreciate that. Last but not least, let me have Prakash online. I want to see. First time Prakash is talking for us, actually. Thank you so much, Prakash. You need to unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, David, for the wonderful opportunity. Yes, my name is Prakash Kanburi. I hail from Hyderabad, Telangana, India. Yes, I joined MRM in batch 2. I was fortunate enough to be introduced by M.B. Rao, who was part of batch 1. Before that, I was a coach with Afeen. I have learned a lot. I tried to transform myself, but there were certain things that I could not change. That is, I used to be very short-tempered, highly judgmental, and I used to procrastinate for donkey's years. But after joining MRM, I could see myself, see change. I do have an opportunity on the other platform to write a book, but I couldn't. But the moment I joined here, the vibration, the collaboration, the support, the energy here drove me to be part of the great Grail 2.0. You know what? It fulfilled my dream. Till then, I did not have any visiting card to approach to knock the doors of CEOs or vice chancellors of institutions. And Grail 2.0 had been my wonderful visiting card that gave me confidence to knock anyone's door. And I had a huge transformation there. The other one is, as I told you, I suffered from being short-tempered and highly judgmental and very sensitive like. But now, for the past 300 plus days, I'm taking care of my mom who is suffering from brain stroke 24/7 without a single moment of regret. Had it not been for the modalities here, the power and vibration of this community, nothing would have been possible. I would have been shouting, yelling like a mad dog. And today, I win the appreciation of everyone around who watched me help her. And let me throw some light on how much more scope is there for you to evolve through this platform. On your successful completion of Purpose Drive, you end up embracing the fortune of being an author of a book worthy enough to be the New York bestseller. Of course, you would contribute just one chapter of 1,500 words. That would make you co-author, hitting headlines at the international level, enhancing your credibility. All this happens effortlessly on this platform. Remember that. Mental resilience is what takes care of our mindset on a consistent basis. It's built on the principles of faith, commitment, and discipline, as reiterated beautifully by Mariam. This platform, MRM, empowers participants with 60 modalities. And some of the most important ones, like the power of surrender, the power of visualization, the power of NEN, and all these have been already covered. And all the modalities themselves cost you thousands of dollars, but you get it almost for peanuts here. By the end of it all, it leaves everyone with a culture full of habits, character that is very attractive to everyone around. From the way we see, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we behave, the way we can connect, we stand as role models of joy, simplicity, and humility. Powerful enough to attract others, as each module possesses that magnetic force. You get to rub your shoulders day in and day out with people of global repute, where energy transfers on daily basis. Of course, no regimentation here. Everything is on a cordial note. MRM's weekly mastermind is meant to foster various skills that help one to escalate one's business with proven unique ideas and practices. Then comes the biggest thing, a game changer, I tell you. Fire to Wire, an early hour morning ritual that keeps our momentum going, keeps the pot boiling all through. We, as humans, have the weakness of going through phases. Our motivation goes high while the sessions are there. Maybe after some time, it fizzles away. However, this platform, with its regular accountable sessions in early hours of universal power and benevolence, fosters a wonderful habit of journaling that propels each of us as a human, as coach, as an influencer, by gradually erasing all the negatives and fostering enduring habits that are essential to lead us to realizing our dreams with clarity and conviction. It's a huge privilege to be part of this global community that conducts even physical drives in the respective countries for the book launch across, and in the process gives us a wonderful platform to brand ourselves where the experience and exposure is immaculate and priceless. And to wind it all, 60 modalities are game changers, my dear ladies and gentlemen. If one understands and practices it, one must have experienced traveling from A to Z. There is not even 1% exaggeration here. This is what we live, breathe, and do. Thank you very much. Thank you, David.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. First time speaking. Very good. Excellent. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. It's taken a bit of time. I would like to very quickly sum up where does all of the donation in relation to contributions, if there is a fee charge in the sale of the book Grail, in the sale of the book Purpose Matrix, where does the inflow go to? It goes to this particular charity. Can you see the screen? Ment Aid is the first charity that it gets to in Calcutta, the physically and mentally disturbed children. And the second charity that we take care of is the AIDS community in Gurgaon, Delhi. So none of the funds that are income that come into this organization goes to anyone's pocket. And I would sincerely suggest those that have come here for the first time to think about it, talk to your friends that have introduced you here. And we have been very transparent, showed you everything that is happening. And you're welcome to stay on for the second segment, which we are going to now run in relation to the writing of the chapter. We're not going to write the chapter. We're just giving the brief overview for all of those who have attended and were certified at the Purpose Drive. You are welcome to also stay on and have a listen to what Navas has got structured. And we kickstart the chapter writing as of today. We will give you 3 weeks to complete that in with the people that are going to do the editing work before we launch it. Thank you, Navas. I pass the ball on to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. So David has started it off and given you a brief that yes, only those who have completed the Purpose Drive, the Purpose Code, and have been certified. If you've not given all answered all your questions and not been certified, you are not qualified to write the chapter. Only those who have been certified are qualified to write this chapter. That's very, very important. And this book, The Purpose Matrix, that we are aiming for is to be a New York Times bestseller, as Prakash already mentioned in his talk. So friends, this book is going to be a lot of firsts that's going to happen, and it's a privilege to be part of this book. So those who are writing this book, there are 9 topics, which most of you know, and hopefully you will get your first choice of the topic that you want to write on. And the chapter will be maximum 1,500 words. You will get 3 weeks that David just mentioned to write about it. And this 1,500 words is not negotiable. So please don't come back to David saying that I've just got 1,510. No, 1,500 max. Okay. And when you write this chapter, after you've written it, please edit it yourself a couple of times. See how you can concise the number of words that you want to express the same thing in lesser words, as less is more. And it becomes, you'll be able to write all that you want to write within that number of 1,500. But you need to keep editing it and concise it as you go on. That's why 3 weeks are given. So don't wait for the last moment. Start now, because your editing process will take much longer than the writing one. Also do your grammatic check with Grammarly before you submit the chapters. Okay, and in the chapter, you start the chapter with the purpose statement of yours. Yeah, those who have written Grail earlier, we had started with some quote and things like that. You are welcome to embed a quote if you want to within the chapter, but this time the start of the chapter will be your purpose statement. After that, we talk of our journey. where you were before.